wisdom and goodness, has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come at our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Honorable members, welcome to today's sitting, Wednesday, there being no quorum to commence the business of the day, I direct that pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bell be rung for an initial 10 minutes or until such a time that quorum shall be achieved.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House is now quorate.
Thank you. Clerk, first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
There is no communication from the chair. So next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, Mr. Speaker, sir, there are several papers to be laid by the leader of the majority party, Honorable Elijah Mwangi.
Leader of majority, Honorable Mwangi, Honorable Peter Maina Mwangi, on behalf of Honorable Mwangi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to table the report of the Auditor General on Nyandarua County Bursary Fund for the year ended 30th June 2019.
The report is duly tabled. I now refer the report to the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment for consideration. Chairperson, Public Accounts and Investment, how much time do you require to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of our chair, who is having an engagement. On behalf of our chair, who is having an engagement, I think 90 days is good enough.
90 days? You confirm 90 days? Okay, well,
That's recorded. Clerk, next order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And on behalf of the Office of the Majority Leader, I wish to table a report of the Auditor General on the County Civil Servant, car loan and mortgage scheme fund for the year ended 30th June 2019.
The report is duly tabled. I now refer the report to the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment for consideration. Chairperson, how much time do you require to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, we will enjoin the two reports and therefore 90 days civil service.
Okay. It is quite in order. Next report.
I wish to table a report of the Auditor General on Olokalau Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2021.
The report is duly tabled. I now refer the report to the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment for consideration. Chairperson, your response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This being not a very lengthy document, we can do it in 60 days.
Speaker, I wish to table a report of the Auditor General on Nyandarua County Executive Committee members' car loan and mortgage scheme fund for the year ended 30th June 2018.
The report is duly tabled. I now refer the report to the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment for consideration. Chairperson, how much time do you require to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, considering that we will look both the County Assembly and the Executive together, I would ask the clerk to remind me the time we gave for the...
Order, honorable members, consulting law terms, Honorable Gashoba, consulting law terms. Yes, honorable member.
I'm waiting for the clerk to remind me the time we gave for the one for the County Assembly, because we will combine both the mortgage for the Executive and the County Assembly together. 30. I'm guided that we give 90 days. 90 days then, so that we can combine both the one for the Assembly and then for the Executive. Thank you.
Okay. Very well. Next order, clerk. Next order.
There is a paper to be laid by Honorable Zachary Mwangi Jeru, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Zachary Mwangi Jeru, Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT. Proceed.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I beg to table the report of the Finance and Economic Planning and the ICT Committee on the consideration of the Nyandarua County Revenue Administration Policy 2022 at I table.
The report is duly tabled. I do hereby, pursuant to Standing Order 157D, refer the report to House Business Committee to schedule for processing of the same if it has not been done so. Clerk, next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. There is a notice of motion by Honorable Zachary Mwangi Jeru.
Honorable Zachary Mwangi Jeru, Chairperson, Committee on Finance.
Bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, the business as appearing in the main order paper has been exhausted. Go to the supplementary order paper. Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a statement by Honorable Stephen Mureithi Matimo, the county member from Karaward.
Honorable Stephen Mureithi Matimo, county member from Olkarau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for granting me this opportunity to request for this statement. Statement from for the chairperson on finance, economic planning, and ICT on a statement on the status of financial statement from the Department of Finance and Economic Planning on the recurrent funds used for the period from 1st July 2022 to 30th November 2022. Mr. Speaker, sir, I hereby seek a statement from the chairperson, Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT on the recurrent expenditure in the Department of Finance and Economic Planning incurred for the period from 1st July 2022 to 30th November 2022 with regard to the following concern. Mr. Speaker, sir, aware that the county government is responsible for various projects in the county, including the construction and maintenance of the county roads in accordance with the provision of Part 2 of the 4th Schedule to the Constitution and Part B of the 1st Schedule of the Kenya Roads Act 2015. Some of the key devolved function under the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Consider that funds allocated to Nyandarua County as per the County Allocation Revenue Act are divided in two expenditure components, namely recurrent and development. With the recurrent component further categorized in personal emolument and operation and maintenance. Further consider that in the financial year 2020 to 2023 had a total budget of 7,1,987 and 80 shillings. With out of this amount, Kenya shillings 4,858,436. No, 800 and sorry, let me redo that amount. It is 4,858,492,316, being 69% of the total amount allocated to Nyandarua County Assembly, to Nyandarua County Government, sorry, being allocated to recurrent expenditure, while Kenya shillings 2,450,695,498 and 78 shillings, being 31% of the total allocation to Nyandarua County Government, was allocated to development expenditure. Noting that Nyandarua County Government in the period between 1st July 2022 to 30th November 2022 utilized the recurrent funds to pay for various programs in the county as recorded in their respective budgets. Mr. Speaker, sir, concerned that this house has not been appraised with any report from the Department of Finance economic planning and ICT with regards to the recurrent expenditure on salaries, allowances and operation and maintenance to run the development vote of the county government. Arising from the foregoing, I seek that the chairperson of the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT provide the following information. Number one, the payment made for maintenance related operation in all the departments. A report on the payments made on salaries and allowances in all the departments. Payment vouchers for contractors and suppliers, including but not limited to the following information. Companies paid, integrated finance management information system, IFMIS report for the companies paid, and last but not the least, pending payments to the respective suppliers and contractors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
The statement is duly sought. Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT, how much time do you require to respond?
Honorable Speaker, 30 days will be sufficient.
Very well, 30 days. Clerk, next order.
Under order number 8, motions and bills.
Next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we've exhausted the business as indicated in the main order paper and in the supplementary order paper for the morning sitting.
Honorable members, having exhausted the business of the day, the House is adjourned until 22nd day of February 2023 at 2:30 p.m.